Today is a very special day for us here at WGSHA as we are proud to announce the launch of the Floyd Cardoz Scholarship, an initiative that involved the combined efforts of our principal, Chef K. Thiru, and the team at Hunger Incorporated. The scholarship is a tribute to the late Chef Floyd Cardoz and commemorates his love for teaching and culinary arts. Every year, one aspiring culinary student will get the opportunity to receive a fully sponsored 3-year culinary graduate degree. This initiative aims at providing high standard training to promising chefs who aspire to attain a career in the field of culinary arts. I now invite Sri Lakshmi Menon, second year MSc Dan, for the invocation.
Krishnani begane varo Krishnani begane varo Krishnani begane varo 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 Krishnani begane varo begane varo ಮುಖವನ್ನು ತೋರು ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ ಮುಖವನ್ನು ತೋರು ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ ಮುಖವನ್ನು ತೋರು ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ ಮುಖವನ್ನು ತೋರು ಕೃಷ್ಣನಿ ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ 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 ಕಾಶಿ ಪೀತಾಂಬರ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಲಲು ಕಾಶಿ ಪೀತಾಂಬರ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಲಲು ಭೂಷಿತ ಶ್ರೀಗಂಧ ಮೈಯೊಲ್ಲ ಗಮ ಭೂಷಿತ ಶ್ರೀಗಂಧ ಮೈಯೊಲ್ಲ ಗಮ ಕೃಷ್ಣನಿ ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ 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 ಕೃಷ್ಣನಿ ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ. Thank you.
Thank you, Sri Lakshmi. I take this opportunity to invite an individual who has been the driving force behind the success of WGSHA as an institution, and without whose efforts and hard work this day would not be possible. He is none other than our principal, Chef K. Tirugnan Sambandam. Over to you, sir, to address the gathering.
Thank you, Nikhil. Good morning. Chief guest of the day, Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Vice Chancellor, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, and Mr. Samir Seth, Founder, Angaring, special invitee, Mrs. Baka Cardoz, guests, our proud alumni, Chef Thomas Zakaria, Chef Girish, Chef Hussain, students, faculty, and well-wishers. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to this event. We have gathered here to officially launch Chef Floyd Scholarship. This is a momentous occasion. This is the first time 100% tuition fee to be funded for an aspiring chef to be in the history of this college. Mr. Samir and his team expressed their interest for constituting scholarship in the name of late Chef Floyd for the aspiring students of WGSHA, especially in the field of culinary arts. We have discussed and deliberated about the selection process and the various other parameters. Thank you, Samir and Team Hungering, for your kind gesture. WGSHA had very strong association with Bombay Canteen since its inception. I must thank Chef Thomas Zakaria as he was instrumental in building this association. Team WGSHA is proud to associate with them. The relationship is burgeoning day by day. This scholarship is something special for us. The man who lived his legacy and showed his path to many in the culinary world is none other than late Chef Floyd Cardoz. A chef must think like a scientist, organize like an accountant, plate like an artist. Chef Floyd was a perfect blend of all these. He was a great human being. Constituting scholarship on his name is truly an honor for the culinary industry. Chef Floyd is not with us, but I'm sure this scholarship will fulfill his vision for Indian cuisine. And may his soul rest in peace. I take this opportunity to thank Mr. Samir, Mrs. Baka Cardoz, on behalf of Mahe and ITC leadership team for giving this prestigious Chef Lloyd scholarship. Thank you, Jai Hind. Over to you, Nikhil.
Thank you, sir. Chef Floyd Cardoz was an Indian-born American chef. He owned the New York City eatery Pawala and was the executive chef at Tabla as well as Victor on Top Chef Masters in 2011. His New York restaurants are known for food melding Indian flavors and spices with the Western cuisine. The culinary star, committed to making the food industry more sustainable, began his hospitality training in his native city, Mumbai. He later moved to Switzerland, where he honed his skills in French, Italian, and Indian cuisine before moving to the kitchens of New York City. Chef Floyd Cardoz ran the very famous Bombay Canteen, O Pedro and Bombay Sweet Shop in Mumbai, and was a crucial factor behind the success of New York's tabla. However, in the year 2020, due to complications caused by the coronavirus, we bid farewell to the culinary maestro. We will truly miss him, and his contributions will never be forgotten. Team WGSHA has put together a short video as tribute to the legendary chef Floyd Cardoz. I request the digital media team to play the video.
Chef Floyd is an inspiration to all of the young aspiring chefs as well as all the chefs that are already in the big run. Chef Floyd has been called the godfather of modern Indian cuisine. He was the first chef born and raised in India to lead Pawala, a prominent New York City restaurant. The other restaurants Chef Floyd ran were North End Grill, White Street, Les Pinas, and Tabla. Chef got his degree from IHM Dadar, was a line cook in the banquet kitchen at Taj Mahal Palace, and furthermore studied hospitality management at La Roche in Switzerland. Chef Floyd Cardoz is a 4-time James Beard Award nominee and the author of 2 cookbooks, Floyd Cardoz Flavor Wala, Big Flavor, Bold Spices, and One Spice, Two Spice, American Food, Indian Flavors. Chef Floyd was also named among the top 50 most influential global Indians by the GQ magazine in 2011. He also bagged the win on Top Chef Masters in 2011. The main reason Indian restaurants get to be high-end personal, regional, cross-cultural and succeed is a big thank you to Chef Floyd. Chef Floyd has completely revolutionized Indian food. The way it's seen is that it's American food viewed through a kaleidoscope of Indian spices. The flavor he used to be so powerful original, and unexpected that they would evoke the most intense emotions. Chef used to always say that with Indian food, you never really need a set recipe. Once you start cooking with the ingredients, you automatically know how much to add. It's like you have a connection with the dish you're making. The flavors of the food come out because of the love and patience that goes in the making of a particular dish. Smiles would automatically appear on everyone's faces as soon as Chef Floyd would enter the kitchen. It was never a dull day whenever Chef came to visit the restaurant. Chef Floyd always believed in keeping the child in you alive because there's a lot more joy you can achieve from the world than you would imagine. Chef was a vocal proponent of balance in food through textures and flavors, but he also demonstrated that in his personal life, leading by example and being as much a family man as he was a chef. Chef Floyd always believed that love was the secret ingredient to cook good Indian food. He learned this from his mother, who customized recipes as per individual needs of her family members. His concept of Indian food was to focus on traditional Indian food with a slight twist, keeping in mind sustainable practices, variety, and value for money. He had a very remarkable culinary journey in India and abroad. He was one of the most sought after chefs in the US. His contribution to the culinary world is unforgettable. We, culinary professionals, salute Chef Floyd with great honor and respect. Ladies and gentlemen, let us join together to pay tribute to the culinary icon, late Chef Floyd Cardoz.
Thank you, digital media team. Students form the core of an institution, and testimonials from them add credibility and authenticity to an institution's mission and vision. I now invite Pearl Boga, 8th course BA Culinary Arts, for her testimonial.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Paul Boga, and today I'll be talking about my Bombay Canteen experience. Working at Bombay Canteen was a dream come true for me. This was the first time I was ever to set foot in a restaurant kitchen and get first-hand experience in seeing how food actually gets prepared before it goes out to the table. I found out about the Bombay Canteen and O Pedro when Chef Thomas Zach and Chef Hussain had come to WGSHA for Chef's Conclave and spoke about their experience and how each restaurant came to life. I was intrigued by the speeches and I knew I wanted to go work there. I got the opportunity to work there during my summer internship. I was scared but excited to finally work in a professional kitchen. Many mistakes were made, but there was always someone to guide me through the right path and teach me through my mistakes. I knew how to cut an onion, but because of the Bombay canteen, I knew that there were so many different ways of how to cut an onion. The chefs would always be there to make sure I was doing my task the correct way. Through the Bombay canteen, I also got an opportunity to work at O Pedro. And while being at O Pedro, I was given the chance to run guard manja all by myself for the evening shifts, and that's when I learned the art of precision. I learned how to do the plating of each dish at guard manja, and I also learned how to make each component of all the dishes. All the chefs there had such a kind soul and would always help out each other, no matter how busy they were already. There was never a day at Bombay, like at Opedo and Bombay Canteen, where I wasn't pushed to my limits. I was always learning so many new things, and that's what made the like kitchen experience so much better for me. I've learned so many new life skills as well as kitchen skills, all thanks to the Bombay Canteen and Opedo. I wouldn't have traded this experience for anything else. I also got a chance to work with Opeto during the lockdown. During those 2 months, I got a chance to work at the Bombay Sweet Shop for like one day. It might have been just one day, but that one day has taught me that even during a lockdown, the restaurant industry is working so hard to keep everyone happy. That day, I helped the Bombay Sweet Shop with their packaging for the big Diwali sale. I also got to see the whole hungering family working together, either making the sweets at the back or packing the sweets or even building the boxes for the sweets to be packed in. All three of these restaurants have taught me so much, and I will forever be so grateful to everyone working at all three of these restaurants. I cannot thank Chef Hussain and Chef Zach enough for giving me this eye-opening opportunity and for all of these life lessons. Because of the Bombay Canteen and O Pedro, I was confident with myself and I figured out exactly what I want to do once college ends. A very big thank you to the whole Hungering family and to everyone working there. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pearl. I invite Aditya Murli Shankar, alumni, 6th course BA Culinary Arts, for his testimonial.
A very good morning to everyone, all the esteemed panelists, Chef Thiru, as well as the entire team at Hunger Inc. My name is Aditya Murli Shankar. I'm currently in my second year of the management training program at IHCL, better known as Taj Group of Hotels. And I'm currently posted at the Taj Mahal Hotel, New Delhi. So, working at O Pedro really broadened my horizons and showed me how much technique and ingenuity can be paired up with tradition in order to create some fantastic food. I had this amazing opportunity back in 2019 where I actually cornered Chef Hussain during the Chef's Conclave and begged him to give me an opportunity to intern, and he writingly obliged. And those 2 months that I interned at O Pedro were by far the most productive 2 months of my entire life and as my career as a budding chef. From the moment I walked into those doors, every single individual there treated me like their own, which really shows you that they do care about team. It is go big or go home, and it's one dream, one dream. So for me, it felt amazing to be already accepted, even though I was a nobody at that point. From the very commies right up to Chef Hussain, every single one of them took out a lot of spare time and invested that in me and actually taught me how to further myself as a budding chef. A week into my internship, I was actually handed the responsibilities of running the plancha, and the orderly chaos that was to ensue for the next 2 months kept me on my feet, kept my mind running at 100 miles an hour, and I will forever be indebted to the team. The number of opportunities that Chef Hussain gave me were incredible, and under his tutelage, I can safely say that I definitely walked out of O Pedro a much stronger and a much sharper person than what I was when I walked in. If my calling is food, then my home is O Pedro, and I'm really looking forward to working with them once again. So a big, big thank you to the entire team at Hunger Inc. as well as Chef Thiru for these amazing opportunities that have come my way. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya. I invite Mehak Rajput from the 33rd course Bachelor of Hotel Management to further address the gathering. Over to you, Mehak.
Thank you, Nikhil. WGSHA is proud to say that over the years, our alumni have always been believed in the act of giving back to the alma mater. Continuing the same tradition, we have Chef Girish Nayak and Chef Hussain Shahzad with us today to share their expertise and to inspire everyone present here today. Chef Girish's interest in the culinary industry began at the age of 17 when he interned at ITC Grand Maratha in Mumbai. He enrolled himself at Welcome Group Graduate School of Hotel Administration, where he fell in love with the world of pastry. During his time at WGSHA, he interned at Valley View International, post which he worked at Shenoy Sweet Shop, Udupi. He developed a strong foundation in the art of baking and pastry making post the completion of his course at the Culinary Institute of America in New York. He continued to work under various renowned bakers in the States and even learned the art of bread making. Equipped with his inviolable training and passion for desserts, Chef Girish returned to India and took up his first job at Olive Restaurants here. Chef Girish joined the team in 2018 to bring familiar flavors from around the country, using a mix of traditional and modern techniques to create an offering that is fun, seasonal, and created to rekindle the love of Indian sweets. We welcome you, sir. Over to you.
Hello everyone. Good morning. I'm Girish. I studied in WGSHA, and I graduated from WGSHA in the year 2007. And after a year, I enrolled myself at Culinary Institute of America in the year 2008. So during my time here at in New York, I got an opportunity to work at a restaurant called John George. During my initial days at the restaurant, I found it very difficult, found it very hard. I didn't know what I was up to, and it was very difficult to motivate myself. But also at the same time, there were a lot of senior managers, cooks, chefs used to come and ask me, where am I from? And I would be like, I'm from India. And after exchange of few words, they would be like, there's a really great Indian restaurant down in Midtown called Tabla. Have you been there? Have you heard of Chef Floyd? Do you know who he is? And just really nice words about Chef, and this really after listening to what they had to say, and I had never met Chef until now, but after hearing to what these guys had to tell me, it gave me a big sense and wanted to motivate me to work really, really hard, because I just didn't want to disappoint him what he's been building so far. And I worked really hard. It gave me a sense of being in New York, working really hard in different restaurants, and make something of myself. I had, in fact, heard about Chef Floyd while studying in WGSHA. This was, during the early years of 2000. Social media wasn't big, so if you had to hear about someone, they have made a big difference and great impact in the world of any industry. And this is what Chef Floyd was doing. He created a huge difference and made a great impact to what Indian food was, how people were seeing our cuisine, how they were appreciating what our food was, and how Indian chefs were appreciated throughout the world. He was setting up a great foundation for young chefs and the younger generations to come, and from across the world. In the year 2017, I got very lucky to meet Chef Floyd in New York, and I still remember that during the initial days of building Bombay Sweet Shop, I used to work in the night shift at Bombay Canteen doing trials, and every time Chef was in town, he would, in fact, come and spend some time with me in the kitchen, and we would discover new things, new flavors, and learn together a lot of things. His love for learning never stopped. Even after so many years of work experience, he was so curious about every single product, every single procedure, and techniques and everything. The learning never stopped. And he started his day by making difference to someone else's life. And I don't think he ever realized this. And it made a big difference in my life and to who I am. He has raised the standard so high for us at the Hunger Inc. Hospitality. We don't think we can ever settle for less. And the union with WGSHA makes complete sense now, because WGSHA also follows the same philosophy. Thank you so much, you guys, for having me here.
Thank you so much, Chef Girish. Moving on to our next guest. Encouraged by his mother to pursue his passion for cooking, Chef Hussain joined the Welcome to Graduate School of Hotel Administration at Manipal, Karnataka in 2005. After graduating, he worked with the Oberoi Group of Hotels as a senior kitchen executive at Frangipani, Mumbai, before moving to New York in 2014. He spent a year at 11 Madison Park, the famed New York restaurant. Despite several years abroad, Chef Hussain had a deep yearning to return to India and be a part of the changing food scene in the country. In 2015, Chef returned to India and joined the Bombay Canteen as sous chef, and 2 years later, the executive chef of O Pedro and Bombay Canteen. Chef Hussain's food philosophy is simple: showcase local produce using contemporary culinary techniques that inspire the future generation of chefs to cook smarter. It is his dream to see every diner excited about the food they eat, and he and his team are committed to continuously create and innovate, making food the hero of the restaurant experience. We're happy to have you, Chef. Over to you.
Thank you guys for welcoming me. Good morning to everyone on the panel. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for being here today. I think this is a really amazing opportunity for us to be able to do this with WGSHA, and thank you, Chef Thiru, and everyone who's made this happen. I have a story similar to what Girish said earlier on. It's the first time that I actually did ever meet Chef Floyd and or heard about Chef Floyd. So I was at 11 Madison Park. It was my last few days. I was actually winding up my toolkit. So I had gone up to the office to collect my knives and put them back in the toolkit. And there was an electrician actually fixing a light bulb. He's an old Mexican guy. He'd been there forever. He'd been there since the time 11 Madison Park had opened and shared the same wall with Tabla back in the day. And so he asked me, he's like, Papi, where you headed? So I was like, I'm going back to India. And I wasn't sure if I was going to go work for the Bombay canteen back then. But I told him that I have an interview with this Indian chef at White Street, where Chef Floyd was at that point. And he's like, oh, Cardoso. And he just got down from he was on a staircase. And he got down from the staircase and he came down and he's like, oh, you're going to go work for Cardoso. He came down, gave me a hug. He's like, good man. And he walked away. And that was I was like, okay. And I only know a new chef through YouTube and I never met him in person. I just had an email exchange and one phone call and I didn't know that. And that just, made it so much more better from someone who's been there doing stuff back in the day telling me that. And yeah, that was the first time that I actually heard about Chef Floyd in person from someone. And then I went on and met him.
Shane, we can't hear you.
Sir, I think muted.
Sorry, now?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sorry. So I think Chef had this deep sense of understanding where he wanted to mentor young talent always. Chef always said that, the two things that always stood out for me, and he mentored us to be able to mentor the younger generation, quite honestly. For me as a chef, that was a big transition from actually being a cook to a chef, was being able to mentor and teach people the skills that they require, not just technically, but also in terms of attitude, the sacrifice that goes on behind it, your mental mindset. And, so two things that Chef always said. One was about balance. He taught me and taught all of us at the team balance not just with food, but balance with life, balance with ethics in the kitchen, balance with a lot of things around us, with people, the relationships we hold. And another thing was that he always used mistakes as an opportunity to teach, as opposed to an opportunity to reprimand people. So he always taught us that if someone makes a mistake, then take it and then teach them how to do it the right way, and wait for them to make a new mistake where you can teach them again. And that is something so beautiful because I've worked and grown up in kitchens that always use mistakes as an opportunity to reprimand. And this was way different. It was a great turning point. And I feel that this legacy that has been passed on to us, it's a huge responsibility. And I don't see any better way to, take this forward than having the opportunity to teach someone, give them the education that they deserve, and collaborating with WGSHA as in an endeavor to do this. So thank you everyone for making this happen. Really, I'm sure he's really proud today.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your experience. Over to you, Nikhil.
Thank you, Mahak. Our next guest, Mr. Sameer Seth, CEO Hunger Incorporated, founder and partner of Bombay Sweet Shop or Pedro in the Bombay Canteen, has over 10 years of experience in the restaurant business in India and the USA. With a degree in chemistry from St. Stephen's College, New Delhi, and an MBA from Indian Institute of Management, Kozhikode, Mr. Seth started his career in banking before realizing that his true interest lay in the world of hospitality and restaurants. He went on to complete his master's in hospitality management from Cornell University, USA. On completion of the program, he moved to New York City, where he had the opportunity to work with some of the finest and well-renowned names in the business. In 2012, Mr. Seth joined hands with Yash Bunage, his classmate from Cornell, and Chef Floyd Cardoz to begin research and collaboration to develop restaurants in India. After extensive research and understanding the Bombay food scene, the team decided to launch the now very famous Bombay Canteen, Mumbai, in the year 2015. We are happy to have you with us here today, sir. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Nikhil. I think first and foremost, thank you, Chef Thiru, for this opportunity, for helping us, all of us at Hunger Inc., to take our first steps towards celebrating Chef Floyd's amazing legacy. It's truly an honor to be able to do this with you. I think both Hussein and Girish have already sort of taken you through what an integral role Chef Floyd has played in so many of our lives. And I think each one of us whose lives Chef touched have so many of these stories. And I'll tell you a little story of how he came into my life and where we went from there. I think I first met Chef when he was interviewing me for a job for a restaurant that he was opening in New York called North End Grill. And I'll never forget, at the end of the interview, he was like, he'd love for me to come and work for them. But he also joked that I should not be trying to live in New York, but to go back to India and open my dream restaurant. And not just that, if I would do it, he would come back and do it with me. And I think he thought he was joking at that point, but as I look back at that moment 10 years ago, I think he'd just known me for about 45 minutes, but he was already challenging me to think and dream of bigger things than even I thought I was probably capable of. I think from that first meeting, Chef has been my boss, my mentor, my partner, my family, and he has been so much in my life and to all of us here at Hungering. He had this undying curiosity to learn every single day and to teach those around him, to see those things that they did not see, to realize their passions and dreams in the most amazing of ways, but to most importantly, believe in themselves. He truly set the example for the phrase that learning never stops. And I truly feel it doesn't. Even from afar today, he reminded me of one of his lessons. As I watched the beautiful video that the team had put together and I was shown earlier, Chef was laughing and laughing and laughing at the end. To give you a little insight into why he was laughing, that little video was taken when Hussein, Thomas, and I were on a research trip with him in Portugal before O Pedro was opening. And we just finished a great meal. And just as we finished that meal, he knew that used to love seeing designs in restaurants. So he sent me into the basement of that restaurant to see the most silliest of rooms which had nothing in it, but he felt it was such an amazing prank that he could not stop laughing. And as I watched that today, it reminded me of something he used to say. And I feel that none of us should forget it. While it's amazing that we all deeply love what we do and we are passionate about it and want to always be reaching for the stars, we should never take ourselves so seriously during that journey that we forget ourselves during that journey. Every time all of us get caught up doing hundreds of things and our teams are hustling, we always take a minute to revisit this thought. Chef Floyd has left back a legacy so bright and with such beautiful insights and life lessons. And it's with great pride that I say that all of us here at Hungering are going to take his legacy forward with a huge smile. In the past year, we've seen so much love pour from all over the world for him. And it's amazing to see how many lives he's touched and the love he's spread, even without him realizing it. He probably met someone at a conference or in a kitchen or anywhere in the world, and he would touch their lives like no one I know. And I think this scholarship is an ode to Chef Floyd's love for mentoring and nurturing and take his legacy forward in every way, shape, and form. With Chef Hussein sharing his Floyd story, with Chef Girish sharing his, me sharing mine, and there's so many more of them. Hopefully with each student that gets this scholarship and every year, his story and legacy will keep moving forward. We can't wait to see all the great things these aspiring chefs do. And thank you again, Chef Thiru and WGSHA, for giving us the opportunity to be able to do this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our chief guest for today, Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, is the 7th Vice Chancellor of Mahe, Manipal. He graduated from Mysore Medical College in 1978 with an exceptional academic record. Dr. Venkatesh joined as the Vice Chancellor of Sikkim Manipal University on July 1st, 2017, and completed his 3-year tenure successfully, ending on June 30th, 2020. During his tenure, he has contributed immensely to the development and improvements in infrastructure, academic processes, and IT infrastructure at the SMU. He has since assumed the role of the 7th Vice Chancellor of Manipal Academy of Higher Education from July 1st, 2020. Dr. Venkatesh is a pioneer in the field of medical education and has contributed significantly to the same. We're truly honored to have you here with us today. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. A very good morning to all of you. I bring warm greetings to all our guests from Manipal Academy of Higher Education. And I thank Chef Thiru for inviting me to this very uh, touching program that I'm part of, a launch of a scholarship program in memory of one of the finest chefs and the finest human beings. After having heard so many of you talking about Chef Cardoz, I'm really privileged to be part of this launch program. Chef Thiru, Samir Seth, Chef Girish, Chef Hussein, Madam Barka Cardoz, we bring in warm regards and best wishes from Mahi to you and all the distinguished alumni, students, faculty members, ladies and gentlemen. This program is one of its kind, and it's a kind of a paying tribute to one of the legends of culinary arts, and also paying tributes to one of the finest human beings after having heard how he has touched lives of many and has mentored a lot and has entrepreneurship skills towards, and his love for Indian food and blending it with his entrepreneurial skills. He's established some of the finest restaurants within the country and outside of it. And extremely thoughtful of Mr. Samir Seth and his company to have thought about, instituting a scholarship in the name of Chef, Floyd Cardoz. So I can't think of any better way to celebrate the life and times of Chef Floyd Cardoz before the pandemic cruelly hit and took him away from all of us. It's also important that legacies are kept alive. The role models are kept alive in the minds of younger generation. And I'm sure this scholarship, which is a very big scholarship that takes care of the entire tuition of one student of workshop for a period of his studies, is singularly a very commendable act by Mr. Samir Seth and his company. I'm sure this is going to bring in a lot of cheer and happiness to a lot of people. And more than anything else, a scholarship named after such a legend will keep his memories alive and take his legacy forward and inspire newer generation of Indian culinary artists into taking the legacy of Chef Floyd Cardoz, keeping it alive and taking it forward. I sincerely thank Mr. Samir Seth and his company for this very generous gesture. I'm reminded of a Sanskrit Subhashita which says, Vidya dadhati vinayam, vinayadhyati patratam, patratvam dhanamapnoti, dhanadharma tatas sukham. It literally means that Vidya dadhati vinayam, education brings in humility, vinayadhyati patratam, humility brings in an ability to receive, patratam dhanamapnoti, this ability to receive will only bring in more money and reputation. And dhanadharma tatas sukham. In literal terms, it means that you give away your money in philanthropy, in charity, to benefit the others. Only then you will achieve sukham, that is, happiness. Truly translate, it need not be money alone. It can be anything else, any other ability that you're able to pass on. To that end, WGSHA and Mahe are always very proud of our alumni who continue to be our brand ambassadors, who are inspirational figures for our young students, and who make such a huge contribution, giving back to the institution, to the university that they have studied in. It makes a huge difference to all of us, and it makes a huge difference in the reputation of the institution and the organization. So I once again thank Mr. Samir Seth for this very generous gesture. I pay my warm regards to Ms. Barka Cardoz. Please accept our condolences on this untimely demise. But then his legacy, his memories will stay alive all over the long period of time, especially at WGSHA, and all those students who received this scholarship will fondly remember Chef Floyd Cardoz and his contribution to the culinary world. Thank you very much and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I request all the dignitaries to switch on their cameras for a photograph. Thank you. Over to Meg for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Nikhil. On behalf of Team WGSHA, I would like to take this opportunity and thank our chief guest for the day, Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, and our honorable guest, Mr. Sameer Seth, Barkha Ma'am, Chef Girish Nayak, and Chef Hussain Shehzad for taking out time from their busy schedule and being with us today. Next, I would like to thank our principal, Chef Thiru, and our vice principal, Mr. Rajshekhar, for being the driving force behind the achievements of this institution. I would also like to thank Ms. Vidya for providing her support and guidance towards the event, and all the faculty members who have helped us in coordinating and conducting the event in an organized and systematic manner. Not to forget the social media team for always guiding us with technical support. Special thanks to Chef Nitish, Rijal Bose, Night Course Baka, and Subhash Praveen Olal, 8th Course Baka, for creating the wonderful tribute video for Chef Floyd. Thank you all once again. Hope you have a great day. Take care and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehak. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sameer.
Thank you,
Barkha
everyone.
ma'am,
Thank you.
and Zain and
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
thank you, Yash.
Thank you. Thank you.